Let's take a look at some of the connection utilities that you can use when you're connecting between different environments. The first one is the remote copy. If I type RCP at a command prompt and hit enter, it shows the different options that I have. Now, if I have, say, a Unix machine and it's running the RCP service, I can remotely copy files back and forth with this service. Let's look at another one here. It's called Remote Shell. If the other computer has the Remote Shell service up and running, this will allow us to connect to them, and it will act as a shell. When we talk about a service running on a Unix machine, they're typically referred to as running a daemon. That's basically running a program in the background that's watching for somebody to try to connect to it like this with the command, say, RSH. Let's look at another one, remote execution. Scroll down here so you can see what we're working on. Okay, let's hit enter. Now, as long as the machine is running the remote execution service, then we could go through and it would act as if we were executing something from that machine itself. If you're familiar with a NetWare environment, this is probably equivalent to the rconsole command. Let me show you another one. It's called Telnet. And what Telnet would be useful for is, let's say, for instance, there's a library online and they have a card catalog, and in order to access the card catalog, you need to actually run a program. You could Telnet into their computer and then access their Telnet enabled programs. This was very big just a few years ago. If you were doing a search on the internet and hit a large university library, you would actually have to Telnet in. Now with the incorporation of databases into browsers, it's much easier, and you don't see as many Telnet sessions going on. I hit enter, and I have the Telnet client up and running. Let's find some information out about it. Here's some of the Telnet commands. I want to go ahead and just exit. Type quit. I've exited Telnet. FTP, which is very big on the internet, although from a command prompt we don't see it used a whole lot, but it's very easy to use. I hit FTP and that came up. Here's some of the commands in FTP. I wish to exit. Type bye. I've exited from FTP. Now, in order for FTP to be working properly, just like the R execution or remote shell or remote copy, those programs need what they call a daemon. But for FTP, it's very similar to the daemon, but you need a program running that is acting as the FTP server. Most of our web servers can be set up as FTP servers as well. But you can set up an FTP program on individual servers by themselves. There is software available out there. Something that's very similar to FTP is TFTP, which is Trivial File Transfer Protocol. I hit enter, and it shows me some of the commands. There's a lot of similarities here between FTP and TFTP. Big difference is TFTP does not have error control. FTP checks for errors and can allow the correction of errors as it goes. TFTP does not have that ability. Although there's some really neat TFTP services you can get up and running. In fact, I just recently downloaded one off the internet. I think it was at 2cows.com. It was called Pumpkin, and I had it running on one machine in a network, and I accessed it from another machine in the network, and it was very easy to transfer files back and forth with that service running. As you see, there's a lot of different utilities that you can access from a command line that work very well between mixed environments. These are just a few of them.